Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this reading vlog, I am going to read Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. Hoorah! So, finally I get to read, word pun, Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. I read Front Desk earlier this year and I really enjoyed it, and hopefully I will have a great reading experience as well for Finally Seen. So, I decided to pick this up because Kelly Yang is going to release or already released or published another book called Finally Heard, which deals more with middle schoolers or middle graders or middle grade schoolers or preteens dealing with social media, and I'm definitely excited for that one. And of course I also want to read this one, so this is kind of the series now, so definitely a series that I would like to read and watch out for the next books, the succeeding books, and like I said, hopefully I get to have a great reading experience. So what are we waiting for? Let us begin! So here's a reading update for Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. So I read more than 100 pages of it, and I have to say that it's a very cute read. We got to see the lives of immigrants, kind of like what Kelly Yang specializes in. She showcases the troubles of the lives of immigrants in her stories, but at the same time she's adding sweetness to it, just so that I think that it would be something that a middle grade reader would be able to read and digest. And there are some unlikable characters here, like Pete and Jessica. Pete is somebody who works for Lena's Lena's father is working for Pete, and then Jessica's her classmate, and my gosh. And the little sibling rivalry of Lena and Millie were depicted clearly, and also talks about how Lena's mother had to use an English name or a quote unquote European name just to kind of blend with people in the United States. So yeah, and I just love the long distance calls that does give you something's flying and interrupting my reading update. But anyway, going back, so Lena's grandmother and their conversations were very heartwarming. And also I like that fact where Lena gets to meet Mrs. Ortiz, who happens to be her special English ESL second, English as a second language teacher, and how, she gave Lena a book where she can get immersed not only in reading or a great story, that's something that she can connect, but she can also learn English at the same time and improve on it. So yeah, definitely I am very excited about what's going to happen next. I am just so eager. I love the depiction of bath bombs here, very refreshing. So far though, it is a little bit more sad compared to Front Desk. So not sure if that's going to be a better reading experience for me per se, but yeah, there is still some glee and some brightness along the way, obviously because it's written for middle grade and preteen readers first. And of course adults can read these too, because when you're an adult you get to learn things, but at the same time it's not expected where it's going to be heavy for you. So it's light yet profound. So yeah, kind of sweet yet profound. I think those are the lines that you might hear a lot in my videos, since I read a lot of middle grade / preteen books. So yeah, I am so eager about how I like Lena's fighting spirit and her love, and yeah. So another immigrant story that is taken in a light-hearted yet profound way. So I'm gonna continue reading this one, and I'll catch folks later. Whoa! So here's a reading update of Finally Seen by Kelly Yang. So I've read more than 200 pages, and I'd have to say that the narrative elevated. It elevates. You can feel the situation's getting heavier for characters, but just right, I believe, for preteens. Now, like regarding Pete, his characterization is going to make you either think whether you like him or not. And just something that I thought, like, I'm not sure if this will be highlighted, but just for me, like this scene that I read where Lena's having conversations with her dad about Pete. It makes you think, like, is Lena's father, like, do you solely believe or agree with, like, his thoughts about Pete, or it's because Lena's dad has, like, goals, and, like, probably Lena's dad wouldn't really want to go with or deal with the situation that they have now, or probably honestly feels that they are in a way exploited, but like because they have other aspirations, it's like not really at all. If you know what I mean, it's like you can be a little bit more personally be emphatic or empathic, or say you understand, and at the same time, on the other hand, you could think, like, is Lena's dad in the, like, enabling Pete's behavior? So it's gonna make you think about that, make you contemplate. Which, in terms of, like I said, in the media, that's very effective. And honestly, if a preteen is gonna be reading that, I think that that should be taken though with an approach where especially if you're like a parent or a guardian, or like somebody who stands as like the older caring person for the kid, it's like it's important for it to be discussed and to like align yourselves in how you would see that. And yeah, with Jessica, like you get to see like it's not so green in her side at all. And I like that part where Lena's not excusing her like vandalism, like her behavior towards like that bathroom door. But yeah, and I really enjoy like whenever they talk about books, there's like a pure joy. There's like some sparkles. I like, the friendships that are being tackled here, the things that preteens, deal with, as well as, how you gotta dance for fun, not for views. Like, I mean, the views are kind of like, it's just gonna come really if it is meant to, right? As a content creator, I can sort of have thoughts about that, but like for kids, just enjoy the moment, live in the moment, just like kind of take it as something like to hone your talents, hone your skills, and be able to find and continually learn and discover who you are or your capabilities, right? So yeah, I just like that fact. And I was just seated, like there was a time here, like a part here about like if Pete is going to be giving them their advance. I was like seated, and I was really looking forward about like what is going to happen. Like, is Pete going to be giving them the advance? And somewhat, because of just personally my thoughts, I knew that there are still things that are going to happen. So I was really, eager, and I really wanted to know like how that's going to play out. So yes, I have less than 100 pages left. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it today, but probably in the next clip that you'll see, I'm already done reading Finally Seen, and I'll give my overall thoughts. So I'll catch folks later. Whoa! So I just finished reading Finally Seen by Kelly Yang, and I have to say that, towards like the latter pages, like moving on to 200 plus pages, we get to understand why the title is Finally Seen, not only with like Lena's, hopes to be finally seen by, people not only to approve her presence in the United States, but also like the other characters, and also we get to see the experiences of it, and the way that it was narrated, it was really brilliant, and it was vivid by Kelly to do so. And you can really tell that Kelly is like pouring herself here. She's really kind of like taking her experiences and being able to fictionalize it and create like narratives that are, going to make an impact to the reader, whatever kind of impact that is. You can really tell. And it does like talk about banned books as well. And I like that part where it says freedom spelled with READ, like freedom, like freed is like FREAD. And I was like, the freedom to read, so that was like genius. And while we get to see like the different sides of the characters here, the characterizations were, gave you some sort of like more of a balanced way. The characterization of Pete is really something that's going to make you contemplate, whether his decisions, his actions are really, worth something that you're going to side on or you're going to condemn or what's, and it's going to make you contemplate about those things. And that's what I like about, that's what I like about this book, and that's what makes an effective media altogether. And also, what else can I say? I hope that Jessica is really going to remain nice. I hope that in the next book, she's not going to be, if ever that she is going to be there, she's not going to be randomly rude. I hope so. And I just love how, like, I was at the edge of my seat, about what was going to happen next, what was going to happen to the green card, what was the truth behind it, even if I kind of predicted it. I was still like, I was eager to know if my thoughts are right. Because for me, I know this is kind of weird because usually this happens with like thrillers or suspense novels wherein I don't really get disappointed when I already know what's coming up, as long as it still, keeps me seated. There was something about the way that this is narrated, although this is not a suspense or thriller book, but like I was eager about like the green card situation, and I was like at the edge of my seat, really wanting to know what Pete was up to. And I just love how the narratives, the way that the characters express their thoughts, you know, and yeah, and how it talks about inclusion, which is, something that is important collectively as a society. So yeah, very amazing. It wasn't as like kind of, because like with front, and pardon me if I'm going to be comparing this to Front Desk, because both are written by Kelly Yang. In Front Desk, it was a little bit more like, it's hard, but the silver lining is right there, right, like it instantly. Here it's kind of a bit of a gradual, it's really um like a journey that, and it was great. I just like missed, I guess, that like joyful spark, or like the every now and then joyful glee. This still had joy, but like I think with Front Desk, it's just that it was a lot more, like, okay, this is a an unfortunate situation, but like it's filled with a lot of optimism, which was really, great for me to read. But, like I said, the narratives were executed also well in here. I guess and I initially thought I was just going to give this 4.95, but I decided to increase it to 4.5. So the Goodreads rating of this is 5 out of 5, but the exact rating for me is 4.5. So I'm giving this book 4.5 out of 5 stars, y'all. And I'm definitely excited to read Finally Heard. Now, the thing about Finally Heard is that it's already out, but like it's only out in hardcover. The paperback, I found it in Goodreads, so let's take it with a pinch of salt. But based on what was updated there, probably, I mean, sometimes I know that librarians and Goodreads base off of info, through like different publisher sites or publishing sites, or say Amazon. Um, so yeah, maybe like the date is kind of accurate. I thought it was like it might be released, like the paperback version of Finally Heard will be released on 2025. So I gotta wait till 2025. I don't know when in 2025, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll walk into a bookstore and I'll see a paperback copy because I want it to match. So I hope that I get a copy. I hope I get a copy because I'm really interested about like the themes there. That's why I wanted to own a copy of this one because I really wanted to read Finally Heard. I really wanted to know how like the topic of social media is going to be like discussed, how the narratives are going to go into play, will it make an impact, and somebody like me as a content creator. And I'm curious like how the narrative is going to be taken in the context of generations that are younger than me. So, but anyway, going back to Finally Seen, it's fantastic. It was great. The characterizations, the friendships, the narratives, the situations, the circumstances all around it were blended really well. It was profound. And yes, I'd say it still is suitable for, preteens or middle grade people. And, the scenes here about the adults is something that, even adults should like give it a try. If you want to kind of like mix up your reading every now and then, like read a middle grade or preteen book, this is a pretty good one. Together with Front Desk, by the way. Also, I want to add that another thing that like resonated in me is like the ending. You will never know what drought or what the future will hold. So I am looking forward to what's gonna happen and Finally Heard. I've been saying that a lot in this vlog. But yeah, let me know down below if you've read Finally Seen and your thoughts about it, or if this video or vlog motivated you to read Finally Seen, which I hope I hope you folks read Finally Seen. I hope this vlog motivated you, inspired you, or caught your attention to read Finally Seen. All right? If you've made it this far, leave an envelope emoji, and I hope you folks liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I'll also put down links and handles on my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.